We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Yes. Yes. I am back with an unpack and the Ego Weight Watchers and really a review. So in this video, you're getting a little bit of everything from Boxing Ego. Devin Haney made weight. Brian Norman Jr. made weight. We have ourselves a fight. And I'm very excited. Now, I remember telling y'all, when I am excited personally for the fight, that's where I really get off. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it'll be a boxing fight that'll come about, and for one reason or another, it's not my favorite thing. So as a content creator, you know, I still got to cover it a lot of times. Not always, but I'm just doing it for the fans. But personally, some of the fights aren't like fights that are near and dear to me. However, we got a fight like this. Brian Norman Jr. defending his belt. Devin Haney, great clash of styles. Now you're going to get the best work from Ego. Can't wait for Saturday. And let's get into the weigh-in. Make sure you guys follow me on social media. I am the best in the business, and it's not even close. Link in the description. I also have a link tree. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting as we gear up for the watch party. A lot of people have already chipped in and hit up the Cash App. All of that can be found in my link tree. Super chat, super thanks. Appreciate all of y'all. Follow me on Instagram. Let's get it cracking. So before I start, because I have boxing fans from all different walks of life. Some people are lifelong fans. Some have been watching boxing longer than I've been alive. Some people, new fans, whatever. So I want everybody, because this is a fight I'm really geared to, I need everyone to know what's going on. Because some people are going to be confused. Like, as at the time this video goes up, the public weigh-in will not have happened by that time. Because I'm going to record this, then upload the video, right? And some people are going to be confused, like, hey, come on, Ego, how you have the weights before the actual weigh-in? Good question. I can explain. The public weigh-in that you will see, it comes on at 10 a.m. my time. I live in California, so Pacific Standard Time, right? If you live in like New York or whatever, it'll be on at 1 your time. That public weigh-in in Saudi Arabia is really for photo ops and for whatever crowd, because I don't think that many people be going to a lot of them Saudi fights, but whatever crowd and media they have is for them. They've already weighed in. So it's called a ceremonial weigh-in, and they've already made weight. And you're seeing more big events go to this system because when you have a lot at stake, the bottom line is this: these fighters can't make weight. I really don't think this new generation is as disciplined as the Haglers, the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Mike Tyson in his prime. Obviously, Mike Tyson had issues with discipline later on, but I'm talking about prime. Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, they're not. So a lot of these big shows, you're seeing the ceremonial weigh-in because they don't have faith that these fighters can hold their weight till 12 p.m. local time, till the afternoon without missing weight. That's what I believe it boils down to. They think these fighters are going to miss weight if they wait till, because back when I first started covering boxing and going to the fights live, they were never doing this ceremonial weight junk, right? they would send me an email as credentialed media and be like, Terrence Crawford is fighting in Dongo or whatever. 1 p.m. local time is the weigh-in. And Crawford would have to hold his weight and hit that scale at that time and hit his numbers. And he would do it because he's a professional or whoever the person is. Now, they know these fighters can't hold their weight and really probably not even fighting in, which we're going to get into in a second, not even fighting in the real weight class that they probably should be in. So they're doing these early morning weigh-ins so they can hurry up and record the weight, knock out the burden. And another thing is these fighters be doing this crazy stuff where they look all sucked up. I hope video comes out of the ceremonial weigh-in because I want to see how Brian Norman and Devin Haney looked on the actual scale. Because when you see them hours from now, from this video being uploaded, at the public weigh-in, they've already had a chance to eat. So they could eat some oatmeal, carb up, drink liquids. So they're replenishing and putting liquids and carbs and food, pasta or whatever. You can eat whatever you want. You already made weight. Everybody on the card made weight in the main card. David Benavidez, Yard, Bam, Brian Norman, Devin, Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes, they all made weight, right? And you guys could check out Ring to get their individual weights. This video, I'm focusing on my main event, which is Brian Norman and Devin Haney. That is the fight I'm personally most interested in because of the matchup. They've had the best build-up. Like, no disrespect to other guys in the card. Yard has been respectful. Benavidez, pretty respectful. Sam Noakes, I ain't really heard him say nothing. Bam. You know, Puma kind of got in Bam's face a little, but Bam, that's not even his bag to kind of trash talk. So the most entertainment as well in the buildup has been this fight. So the weigh-in you see, the fighters, they might look bigger and stronger and stuff like that. I wanted to see how they looked in the morning, but that's another story. Here's a fight week picture of both. Boom. So both guys look shredded, right? And again, this is a picture from fight week. They might have had to cut some extra weight from this particular. So Devin actually came in heavier than the actual welterweight champion, which we'll get into in a second. As you see, 146.6 pounds for Devin Haney. Brian Norman came in at 146.12, right? And I know some people are going to be confused because they don't know math, like somebody in the comments, and they try to correct me. They said, delete the whole post. You're wrong. Devin's lighter. This whole post doesn't make sense. You don't know math. 146.6 versus 146.12. Devin weighs more. Again, some people, they didn't graduate. They don't know math. They don't know numbers. I don't know. So you see 0.6 and 0.12 and you think 12, that's got to be greater than 6, right? So again, I'm not even finna go through this. That's the weights. Devin is he's about almost a half a pound, because in a pound there's 16 ounces. Half of that is 8. Devin's like 7.8 ounces, roughly almost 8 ounces, bigger than Brian Norman. So almost half a pound. Very weird. I want to say that. I think it's weird that Devin continues to move to new heights and new divisions, and somehow he's always like bigger than the people in the division. That, to me, that is very questionable. Very, very questionable. We've seen it in the Regis Prograis fight. Regis, a career 140-pounder with knockout power. But snack athlete Devin Haney, when he fought him, it was his first fight at 140 pounds, And in that fight, Devin Haney, I think he weighed in more. They both made their weight. But then the next day, he rehydrated to like 165. And that was in his first fight at 140 pounds. The other thing that I don't all the way understand is everything that is shown of Devin Haney. He looks to be professional and a hard worker. So what is going on where you're a gym rat and like in shape, yet somehow making weight seems to be almost like such a big chore? So something's going on with that. I don't know exactly what, but it don't really make sense because Brian Norman, his weight is pretty consistent to about how much he's been recently, right? I looked it up on his box rec to see where he was at. And that's pretty much in line with his other fights. So right here, I'm on his box rec. Again, you guys got to subscribe for these breakdowns. He did weigh in with Devin Haney. Already went over the weights. Jin Sasaki, he came in at 147 flat. So that fight a couple months ago, he weighed in at the max limit. Before that, he was 146 3/4. Before that, 146 1/2. I don't know. This is the fight he got dropped. The Boca Chica dude, but it ended in a no contest. I don't know if they fought at a catch weight because he came in at 147 1/4. So I don't know what was up with that. But then 146 1/2. This was probably a catch weight fight, 148, 149. And it goes to show you that even Brian Norman, he's a big welterweight because he got some 148s. And I don't want to get too technical, but I know a lot of fighters. When you start seeing like 148, 149, 150, some of these are like low-level fights. So you don't want to max out and press the person you're trying to build. Like this guy has a 10-4 record. This guy has a 24-4 record. So I don't even know if he was signed with Top Rank at that time. So these could have very well pretty much been stay busy fights for Brian Norman. And sometimes you negotiate in between weight classes because you're like, hey, my guy's developing. Why make my guy suffer for a non-title fight and make him weigh in at 147? Let's just do this at 149, right? And then the other person agrees. So sometimes you will see that where a fighter will have like in-betweeners in terms of lower level fights because making weight ain't no punk. To make weight, it really takes something. You know what I mean? So most fighters, if they can sneak in a non-title fight and stay busy or have a low-level fight and don't have to cut an extra 1 to 3 pounds, they're going to pretty much do that, stay active, get the knockout, get the win, and move on. And then when it gets to the bigger fights like Devin Haney, you dig, you're going to see it at the real weight class. So just a little boxing info for you. So, yeah, Devin continues to be heavier than his opponent somehow, some way. He only stayed at 140 for 2 fights. So it lets you know these guys are, I don't know what they're doing, but they're not really fighting in their real weight classes for real. Because back in the day, you would have guys like Shane Mosley, and he'll have several fights at 135. And the only reason he had to move up is because he was knocking everybody out. And there weren't no big names. Terrence Crawford, Adrian Broner, same thing. When they're at lightweight, 135, they end up having to move up to the next division, like 140 for Broner. He moved up to 47, pursuing bigger bags and bigger fights because when Crawford was at 35, it was dry. When Broner was at 35, his first fight, he beat Antonio DeMarco, who was the #1 champ at the time, and he tore him up. So there really wasn't nothing for him beyond the Gavin Reese fight. But this new generation, it ain't the same. Like Devin Haney, there were good fights for him at 140 pounds. Great fights. Like Gary Antoine Russell, Richardson Hitchens, Puello. I would say Subriel Matias, but he just failed a PED test, so I don't know what's up with him. But we just got that information right now. Sandor Martin, the guy that Devin was supposed to fight, right? Pitbull Cruz, Lamont Roach, they're fighting at 140 pounds. So there's some good movement. Teofimo is at 140. You got Keyshawn Davis moving up to 140. I don't know what Ryan, I don't even know what weight Ryan can make. He's going to 47, I guess, to fight Barrios. But you guys get what I'm saying. So really, there wasn't any reason for Devin Haney to only have a stopover with only 2 fights at 140 pounds, other than the fact that he's too big. And I guess he finally decided, him and his team decided, we got to stop milking it and move up to the big boy division. But now, I told you the fathers went at it, and I had Brian Norman with the better. He's winning the PR stuff, the buildup. And now we're going to listen to it, and I'll let you know why. Roll the clip.
Bill Haney's been selling this fight from start to finish. He's a trip, man. He's one of a kind. He kind of reminds me of the captain of the Titanic who's bragging that he saw the iceberg. Well, Brian Norman's the iceberg, and we know how that worked out for everybody. So we can't wait for the bell to ring Saturday night.
All right, let's bring in Brian Norman Jr.'s trainer, his father, Brian Norman Sr. We expect the fight to be outstanding in the ring, but outside of the ring, the build-up has been just as exciting, especially the back and forth between you and Bill Haney. You guys were going at it just a few minutes ago. You said your son's going to knock out Devin in the ring, and you've already knocked out Bill Haney verbally. Why is there so much animosity between you two?
Listen, first of all, I know Carl may not know or keep up with everything, but Bill been missing. Everybody know he been missing. You understand what I'm saying? Bill was missing for 2 months. Bill will come back, he'll get beat up, he'll go away again. Bill come back, he say he locked in, he say he locked in. Man, you're looking for excuses. We're not worried about that. You understand what I'm saying? Brian Norman Jr., it's time for him to show who he really is. Devin Haney is the perfect opponent to show who he really is. We know his accolades. We know all of his, everything that he's achieved or whatever else. I think he's tailor-made for Brian Norman Jr. to be, and I think he's tailor-made for Brian Norman Jr. to become a star. I think this whole situation, the table is set, and all Brian Norman Jr. got to do is go eat. That's it.
The man said the table is set. Brian Norman just got to eat. Devin is tailor-made. He's food.
All right, let's let Bill Haney have the mic now. I'm sure you have plenty to say about Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Jr.
Well, first, I want to thank Allah for this opportunity. It's been quite a journey, and I'm going to ask for all the patience in him to give me to not just go in on that clown over there. You dig what I'm saying? But first, let me acknowledge the star-studded cast. Both.
See, right now, it's weird. Bill Haney's Muslim. You're in a Muslim country, Saudi Arabia, and you're like, that clown. There was literally you're not in America anymore, bro. So that I don't even think that's the culture out there to be loud and cussing. I know it's not. You know what I mean? You're in the Holy Land. So when Bill's saying it, it sounds like pure crickets. You're not in New York for the Ryan Garcia presser. So the antic, it kind of falls flat. Just listen. Listen as he's saying the clown and all that, how quiet it is.
Senior and Brian Norman Jr.
Well, first, I want to thank Allah for this opportunity. It's been quite a journey, and I'm going to ask for all the patience in him to give me to not just go in on that clown over there. You dig what I'm saying? But first, let me acknowledge the star-studded cast, both on the stage right now and those that's behind.
Right now, I'm going to fast forward because Bill started talking about a bunch of undercard people. I'm caring about the Norman fight.
In the game from Floyd and them, and putting it down business and willing to make all the sacrifices. You have to rely on what you've invested in and made happen. He said, well, Dad, I'm going to bring the belt back. That was one of the most impressive times.
Right now, he's talking about like Kambosos fight and weird stuff. I just care about the Norman.
When the clown didn't have no opportunity, nobody wanted to fight him, right? He had complained about Boots and had complained about everybody. Where was he going to have an opportunity to be on this stage right here if Devin didn't give him the opportunity? I don't know if he's ungrateful, he's just slow, or he's just capping, but you should have took longer when you had the mic, dummy. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm going to wrap this up with alhamdulillah, and it's a great opportunity. Thank you for everybody on this stage for giving us the opportunity to grace it with you.
See, my channel is different. I run this. I created it. I'm the brains. I run everything. So I can't get on here and start capping. Like, you look at the Haney content creators, bro. Devin could do no wrong. They're like, oh, Bill cooked him. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. What did he say that was impressive to you? Like, I'm being real, being fair. Let me know in the comment section. Beyond that, speaking of the Haney content creators, how come Devin's biggest, most subservient, ride or die Haney content creators, the top glazers of Devin Haney, how come none of them are at Devin's fight in Saudi Arabia? Like, you got people, they're part of the team, or people speculate they're part of the team. Why are you not in Saudi Arabia with your number one fighter that you dish out all positive news for, you disrespect Gervonta Davis for? It's not making sense. Where are the Haney content creators? Why are they not in Saudi? This is one of Devin's biggest, most anticipated fights, a great fight. Why didn't you go to Saudi Arabia if you're a Haney content creator? Like, I want to empower you, the fans, to see what I see and make stuff make sense. I shouldn't have to lay it out for you. If you have Haney content creators who's like, oh, Devin, he walks on water, blah, 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 all year, and then he has his biggest fight of the year, because the Ramirez fight, come on, that wasn't as anticipated as this, right? And then none of the Haney content creators pull up to Saudi Arabia, you know, get the credential thing going and make live content and get some Devin exclusives or whatever. Very weird. But for those of us who are not Haneyacks, I didn't really hear anything from Bill Haney other than calling him a clown that really was good. He said, who would you be, or where would you be if we didn't give you this opportunity, if Devin didn't give you the opportunity? And then right when Bill stops talking, his whole entourage is like, yes, sir, yes, sir. And that's also very weird to me. It really feels like I would not want that, me personally. It almost feels like they baby Devin Haney. Like, he's the breadwinner, so they have to keep people like hype men and yes men, and people like when Devin is jumping up, they're like, oh, he's bouncy. He's bouncing around. He's jumping. And the rest of the world looked at it as not necessarily a good thing. I was reading a ton of the comments on the post where Devin Haney's bouncing around and doing all this while Brian Norman is looking like the Terminator or Ivan Drago and just staring at him. And his entourage is like hyping him up. Oh, he's bouncing on you. He's bouncy. Yeah, show him that bounce. He's feeling good. Like, why do you need that, bro? You're a prize fighter. You got to be mentally tough, because no one in them, the people can't fight for you. So no one could be in the ring for you. So why would you need that at like the press conference or the face-off? Because none of these people can be in the ring with either guy. And I think the Normans touch on this. Like, he's like, you flew all your like people, your groupies out here, and every time Bill does something or says something, or Devin, they're like, oh my God, yeah, oh, Devin, And it's just like, why you have the peanut gallery everywhere? I don't know. I've been in this game and I've seen some real ones. Deontay Wilder, he had like one or two people with him, and that's it. He didn't have no big entourage. Ain't nobody messing with Deontay Wilder. So it's like, why does Devin need like this big peanut gallery at all times? That I always thought that was pretty bizarre.
So I want to say, thank you, Bill, for that bullshit ass speech. So check this out right here. So hold on, check this out right here.
See, when Bill was talking, it was silent, but then Brian Norman Sr. talked for 2 seconds, and you hear his entourage like trying to, I don't know, frustrate him and talk over him. It's weird.
You got a man in Bill Haney who literally just said to me, who was going to fight my son? Not to mention this fight with Devin Haney was made 7 days after my son just made the knockout of the year. Less than 7 days. So what the hell do you mean who was going to fight my son? You never gave an opportunity. You don't know what the hell we had on the table. You have no clue who was going to fight my son. Don't tell me nobody was looking for him. He had just fought. Devin hadn't fought since May. You just made the statement and said you went to Turkey out of sheet and said if you back up Devin, this is going to be the best. He was the most bullshit fight on the card. He was the worst one, literally. He was literally the worst fight on the card. Can we admit that? Hell no, we can't admit that.
Let me ask you this.
So Brian Norman's countering like, yo, you said we gave you the opportunity and you couldn't find nothing else. He was like, my son made the fight with you 7 days after the Sasaki fight. So it was like, what are you talking about? The other thing too is the Saudis are the ones putting up all the bread for all of this. So I have a strong inclination that what Bill is saying is cap, because I really feel like the Saudis and Turkey's the front man. He called a show. He's putting up these crazy purses, right, that you can only get, like, put it this way. The only way you could get it is if you're Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul, Joshua, like a big name who's gotten similar purses before. But Turkey has the bread to give, I don't want to say undeserving, but people, he's overpaying people in contrast to their actual market value. Like Shakur, he ain't even on main events and he's making good money. Shakur he's not selling no pay-per-views, but he's making millions. You know what I mean? So I really think what Bill said was cap, because I really don't believe that they made this happen more so than the Saudis and Turkey told you, if you rock it with us, you gonna fight Ryan. That's it. Like, there's no dialogue. And he made you drop the lawsuit. Ryan had to sign up for VADA or whatever, and then Ryan ended up losing. So then he said, all right, we're gonna give you Teofimo. That didn't work out. Teofimo probably fighting Shakur. Cool. They tried to reach out to Jaron Ennis. Devin Haney said Jaron wanted to catch weight because he was moving up. They said, we're not doing the catch weight. That fell apart. Then you got to Brian Norman. So this wasn't your first, second, or even third person that you had to go down a list, and this was really Turkey's list of who you're going to fight for this type of money. So how is Bill like almost taking credit, like we gave you a spot? He wasn't even supposed to be here. If Boot said yes, 47, if Teofimo went through with it, or if Ryan didn't lose, one of them three would have been your opponent. So you didn't really give the Normans an opportunity. I don't even think they wanted to fight the Normans. But you had all the other fallouts, and Turkey is not going to pay you to do another Ramirez probably.
Let me ask you this, though. Hey, sir, let me ask you. Is your son the best fighter at 147 pounds? Is he the most dangerous and feared fighter at 147 pounds, sir?
Absolutely, but we already know that. We was talking about that. Let's keep it right. Let's keep it right. We was talking about that. See, listen. Here's the problem. Wait, let me tell you the problem. What happens? See, what you did was you brought a bunch of goopy hoes, all your fellas that you paid to bring. You brought a bunch of goopy hoes, and now what they doing is they fucking the whole press conference up for you and me. That's what they doing. We trying to get active. They trying to do all they little. They trying to get some money from us.
If you want to put something on the table for me and him to wrestle on this motherfucking stage, then just let it be known, and we can get to it. Other than that, let's get to having a great night in boxing.
The last time social media heard, Bill Haney said, "I'm gonna make my pro debut against you
let's see right
on the
now.
undercard."
Come on, let's see right now.
Well, let's go then. What we gonna do? What the hell we gonna do? Look at it. He high. He high. He high. He high. He high. He high. Man, come on, bro. What we talking about?
All right, who wants to hear?
Bro, that interaction to me was not great. That was not great. Bill starts standing up, like hooting and hollering, like, yeah, we can fight right now. All right, on some real stuff, if you really wanted to fight somebody, you guys got to watch the clip. But if you really wanted, you could rush them and just book it and and like dig on them, like, and go tackle them or swing or whatever. Bill got up all slow and then waited for the matchroom or whatever, the ring security guy, and he's like, no, none of that. And then he started holding him back. Like, come on, bro. And like, let's be real. Do you really want to fight a former pro fighter as a civilian? Like, I mean, honestly. So I didn't, again, this stuff doesn't bode well for the Haneys. It all seems like a character or script or theatrics. You know what I mean? Like, it's like drama class. So this stuff ain't really hitting for me. I do want to see a good fight, but all this other stuff like the dad's gonna fight, like, come on, bro. And why would you risk your son or, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the rules, all the rules in Saudi, but is that even accepted? You know what I mean? Unsanctioned people just fighting in their holy land. You know what I mean? So I just found that part to be weird.
From their sons. Anybody here want to hear from the guys actually fighting on Saturday night?
Hold
He said, let's hear from the guys actually fighting.
You supposed to be fighting me, Bill.
Okay.
You supposed to be fighting me. When we gonna fight?
Okay, listen. Right now if you want to. But listen, let me just say.
He said, let's fight right now if you want to. But then B-Hop said, go to the bathroom. Brian Norman. And the other thing is, my thing is this. There's other moments where Bill and like other clips that I've seen, like on Ring's page or whatnot, and Devin and the Normans were like 5 feet away from each other at the grand arrivals or this or that. And if it was really like funk, real friction, you couldn't be that close to somebody with no, there was no security or nothing. It didn't appear. You're about to walk to the stage. So to get on stage and then under the mic and the camera, act like you want to fight somebody, that's diabolical.
You said it was on site, Negro. I just see you 5 times.
See, he just said it. He said, you said it was on site and I seen you 5 times.
Okay, shout out to the professionalism in this guy to come out when he did. This is amazing town. We've been here since
and now he's
November
switched the subject.
1st, right? And what we have is what we call, when you get acclimated in Saudi, we got that bounce. You dig? Now tell him, let's see that bounce over there. Stiff as boards over there, you dig? November 22nd, my son gonna punish him.
All right, let's hear now from Devin Haney. Devin, for the first time in your career, I believe, you are the underdog in this matchup. Do you feel everything you've accomplished in your career that you should be the favorite?
Not anymore. I think it was an update in the odds.
No, sir, he's still the underdog. He's still the underdog. Check again.
No, alhamdulillah, I'm happy that
He's still underdog.
To be here. I thank Allah for this opportunity. I thank His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh for giving me this opportunity to be fighting here in Riyadh. This is a dream come true of mine. A dream come true of mine to be fighting for another world title. And this is not my first rodeo, so it won't be anything different. I look to bring back the WBO title back home to me and my family, my team, and yeah.
The other thing, if you heard Devin, how he just like talked on the mic, the energy in the team seemed a little bit off. Like Devin, he don't sound turned up, right? He don't really sound turned. He just being respectful, and I can respect that. He's just like, yeah, I look forward to bringing the belt back to the WBO, back to me and my family. But Bill's energy is like the guy who's not fighting. His energy is like, man, come on, we can fight on stage right now. Did we just say, your son is the best? Okay. Yeah, you did. And I'm like, you know what I mean? The team don't seem to have like the same energy. And like, I can't wait till Saturday. I want to see how this play out because I'm just going off of what I'm seeing here. The energy don't really match. Like when Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney were about to fight, Devin's energy was turned up, and he was like, he a C plus fighter. I'm an A plus fighter. He was stealing from Floyd, and he pushed Ryan at the Empire State Building, and he was like, he a bum, he a bozo. You can't Gervonta beat you and came out with shirts of the Gervonta Davis knockout over Ryan. Like, he was fully in it. Like, he was fully in it and committed. He didn't sound like that. Like, he was talking trash. And his dad was like, man, we going off him. We going to unalive him. If you don't want to see nothing too graphic, Bill was saying this. Bill was like, you don't want to see nothing too graphic, put the kids to bed because I done told Devin to ill him. 187, right? Now you got Bill kind of on the Ryan Garcia mode of trash talk, but then Devin Haney's like kind of chill. So that's what I'm saying. It don't seem like the same energy. Speaking of, you push Ryan at the Empire State Building or wherever you were at. You push Lomachenko and he flew back. And then you get in front of Brian Norman and you start doing some Eddie Gordo capoeira, only the strong. Find out a way, no, find out a way, find out a way. Like you start doing capoeira or something. Find out a way, no turn, find out a way, find out a way. You start dancing like Diddy. Juicy, bad boy. Take that. Hey, they call me Diddy. Send the cop, DA, the feds to come get me. Keep coming dead. You coming with me? Not guilty. Come on. Like what? I'm not understanding the energy, bro. I truly feel B Norm and his dad, B Norm Senior, their energy matches how they've been. They talking. They're on the same page.
All right. Brian, Devin has fought and beaten 7 world champions. To my knowledge, you haven't fought a single champion in your career yet. What do you say to those who believe you're not ready to deal with someone of his caliber?
First thing first, this is a wonderful fight card, and gotta thank everybody that made this fight happen. That's Turkey Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, Ring, my Bob father, Bob Arum, Top Rank. I appreciate that for making this fight happen, and I truly feel like either you got it or you don't. Of course, he has fought. He has did wonderful things in his time period and what he had going on, but it's time for another face to come up here and do his own thing, and that's where that boy Brian Norman Jr. step in at.
Well, you said in Devin's last fight against Jose Ramirez that he ran so much he had to change shoes because they ran out of grip. That said, he won basically every round of that fight. How do you plan to force him into exchanges with you when other fighters haven't been able to seem to do that?
I mean, it's only so far you can go. We in a box. It's not like he could just run forever. So no matter if he run or he stay there, no matter what, the boy going to sleep.
And Devin, what's your strategy for?
Bro, he said there's only so much space. He can't run forever. That was crazy. He can't run forever. The boy going to sleep.
Brian, he says there's no way that you're going to stand in the pocket and exchange with him. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, we fight everybody, different.
Bro, I need to also see the weigh-in. I need to see Devin come alive because at the face-off with Brian Norman, he was talking more gangster. Like Devin Haney was like, you a bum. I didn't really want to say it, but you a bum. You really a bum. You only beat bum. Like he was talking different. Right? Then Brian Norman was laughing at you like, you ain't finna stay in the pocket with me, shawty. You ain't finna be there in the pocket and bang in the pocket with me. I got 2 bricks for hands. you're not going to be in the pocket with me. And then Devin's like, what if I do? What if I knock you down? What if I knock you out? And then he was like, come on, bro. I'm going to learn you something. Da-da-da-da. You're not going to be in the pocket, right? And then now Devin is being asked about the being in the pocket. And he was like, oh, you know, it's a different story. He's like, you know, we fight and approach the fights different ways.
Stay there no matter what. The boy going to sleep.
Right here, listen.
And Devin, what's your strategy for Brian? He says there's no way that you're going to stand in the pocket and exchange with him. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, we fight everybody, you know, different. Like I said, this is not my first rodeo. You know, I fought Ramirez different than I fought Loma. I fought Loma different than I fought Regis. So the world got to see, you know, what game plan me and my team has drawn up and how I'm going to beat this guy.
That's completely different than what you were saying about in the pocket at the face-off. Go watch it. Don't take my word for it. See, this is what the Haneyacks, they'll be like, oh, man, ego, oh, you da-da-da-da. I keep it real. I'm telling you what I heard at the face-off. I did another video like this for the face-off because I'm really looking forward to the fight. So I've already done the Norman Haney face-off reaction. So now I'm doing the final press conference, right? And your energy right there was not the same to the same convo about being in the pocket with him. You're like, oh, we fight people different, and you guys got to wait and see how we fight him. I fought Ramirez different than Lomachenko, so you guys have to see. You was making it sound like you was gangster. You want to be in the pocket with him, and he was like challenging, like, come on, you don't know, you don't want that. So, like, he kind of pulled your card with that. I mean, now, if you get in there and really be in the pocket with him, you'll get a lot of respect. You'll get a lot of respect because that is a style of fight that most people aren't expecting from you. So we have to wait and see.
Well, in a recent face-to-face interview, you said he was just another guy. He's a bum. Why do you feel that way about him?
No, I think he's a great fighter.
Well, there you go.
You see, this is what I'm talking about, bro. At the face-off, he got quoted from the host. He said, at the face-off, you said he's just another guy, he's a bum. And then now Devin smiles and says, no, he's a great fighter. It's like the Jackie Chan meme where he's like, what? You said at the face-off, Brian Norman is the best guy at 147. And you do believe he has real power. Then later, when he started talking about stopping you, you said he only has power against BUMSs, right? He's only stopping like cab drivers, basically. And you said he is a BUM. And you also was talking about fighting in the pocket. So how did he go from being the best in the division at welterweight currently to being a BUM and really a nobody, and I never heard of this ninja before until a couple years ago, to now you're being asked about, you just called him this and said he weak. How do you really feel that? And he's like, no, he a great fighter. That's what I'm saying. The synergy is off. You're not even being consistent with what you said. Brian Norman, the whole press conference, he just talking about stopping you. Can he do it? We're going to find out on Saturday. But I know it's been a consistent flow of energy. Like, I'm going to stop him. It's time for a new guy to do his thing. Me and my dad work. We in shape. And then Bill Haney threw out that Brian Norman was weight drained. I already went over it in this video. They both made weight. So I thought he was drained. He's 24 years old. It shouldn't be that hard for him to make weight at this age of his career.
Frank Warren, the founder of Queensberry, representing Anthony here today.
I fought Ramirez different than I fought Loma. I fought Loma different than I fought Regis. So the world got to see, you know, what game plan me and my team has drawn up and how I'm going to beat this guy.
Well, in a recent face-to-face interview, you said he was just another guy. He's a bum. Why do you feel that way about him?
No, I think he's a great fighter.
Contradiction.
Well, Devin, what's your prediction for Saturday?
Devin Haney, WBO champion.
See, and that's what I'm saying. He's a Devin WBO champion. But before he was making it sound like he was going to step on Brian Norman and stop him and fight toe to toe.
Brian, Brian, how confident are you that you can get a decision win against Devin, or do you think you just have to knock him out to win?
I could go in by any means necessary. If I want to go to the cards, I could do that. If I want to knock him out, I'm definitely going to do that anyway, as is. It's me stamping my name in the game.
So what will happen Saturday? How do you win?
The boy going to sleep, dog.
All right. Well, good luck to you guys. That will be the co-main event.
The man said he going to sleep. Listen, I'm geek for the fight. I'm excited for the fight, but there were some contradictions. To me, the Normans have pulled away big in the pre-fight banter. I don't see how anyone can deny it. You got to be a Haney-ac. There's no other way that you can make that make sense. Like, I let you listen to what both parties said, and I told you the complaints. Like, I show you receipts. I don't just talk about it. I be about it, right? A lot of content creators, they want to do what Boxing Ego do. They want to be just like me. But a lot of times they'll say, oh, this, that, and the third, and it's clickbait, and there's no proof to what you even said. I'm letting you guys listen to it so you can hear. So when I say there's a contradiction, the videos are up. You could put the pieces together. I just laid it out for you, right? Devin absolutely went from saying at the face-off that Brian Norman was the best welterweight, the best guy in the division, and propping himself up. He's like, look at me. I'm fighting the #1 seed in my first fight in a new weight class. Look at me. But then Brian Norman started talking greasy and spicy, and he didn't like it. Then he started calling him a BUM. And then now he got questioned at the final press conference weeks after the face-off or whatever, and they're asking him, do you really feel this way? Do you really feel he's that weak? And he was like, no, he's a great fighter. So for me, I feel a man, I deal with masculinity. I don't know nothing else. A man got to be congruent with what he says, right? Like, if you say I'm going to be there at 7 a.m. tomorrow as a man, that should be your bond, your word. You got to be there at 7 a.m., right? Not, oh, man, I was so tired. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear that, right? So I hold men to the standard of what they set for. Like, if you say you're going to do something, oh, I'll pay you back. Pay me back. Other than that, I'm not looking at you as a man. You know what I mean? Devin, he's writing checks. We'll see if he can cash it on Saturday. But so far, he's already double backed on saying certain things. He went from a good fighter to a bad fighter to a good fighter again. That is inconsistent. And the only people who won't call him on that is Haney-acs. Full stop. So, yeah, that's why I have the Normans up. I can't wait for the weigh-in. As of me recording this video, the weigh-in has not happened. So we'll see how that plays out. I want to see Devin Haney push Brian Norman. That's what I truly want to see. You push Ryan Garcia, said that Kambosos was too little, Lomachenko was too little, Regis Prograis was too little. When you met Brian Norman, you said, oh, I thought you would be bigger. I thought you was bigger. Your homie, put the shirt up like that, the cornholio. Shut up, baby. It's me. I am the great cornholio. Need TP for me, bungo. Right? So your homie did that. Push him. Make this exciting for Saturday and get hit. You both made weight. It's a ceremonial weigh-in. Push him. I don't even think they have a fine, because I don't even think they have a regular commission like that in Saudi Arabia. So you should be good. You probably won't get fined. Push him. I want to see it. You did it already to Loma and all these other guys. I want to see you matador the bull, because Sugar Ray Leonard did it when he fought Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran got cracks and Sugar Ray Leonard was in the danger zone. So I really feel the pressure's on Devin Haney. And I know that might sound shocking to some people, because you're like, oh, but Norman is a champion. But he's an unknown champion. He don't have the Ryan Garcia fight where everybody got an opinion on that. He don't have the lawsuit with Ryan and the lawsuit with his baby mama and he's not quite as high profile as a Devin at this point. So I don't look at that as that much pressure. You really, in those situations, you have nothing to lose. Like if I was a quarterback and nobody knows me for being a quarterback and I'm going against Tom Brady, the pressure's on Brady. You gonna look bad if you lose the ego in my team and I'm a fresh quarterback that nobody ever heard of. You see what I'm saying? Brian Norman, he don't really have nothing to lose. I mean, it would be bad if he loses his belt or gets knocked out or takes an L. But again, he was already more of an obscure name. He just recently got with Top Rank, and he said they weren't giving him handouts. They were putting him in fights where they were trying to build other people like Santillan, and he just happened to knock him out. So I still think there's more pressure on Devin Haney for sure because he's the bigger name. And that's kind of how it is. Like if Crawford lost to David Avanesian, who would the pressure be on? You know what I mean? Of course, Crawford is the name. David Avocado wasn't. So even marginal success would be amplified when you're not the bigger name. You see what I'm saying? Like if you get hits on a name like even I could go all day. Joshua, the pressure's on him. Anthony Joshua over Jake Paul. The expectation is Jake Paul gets knocked out. But anything that Jake Paul does right, or if he wins, he's up. Because Joshua's bigger. He's an Olympian. He's the seasoned boxer. This guy's not even supposed to be in the ring with you. So any success he has is going to be like, wow. Like if it goes more than a few rounds, Jake Paul, he's doing well for himself, right? Because the expectation is you're so big, you're a 2X champion, you hit hard. You shouldn't really have any struggles with him. So if Jake Paul like lean Anthony Joshua, it's going to go viral. So that's how I look at the game. For more Boxing Ego thoughts, subscribe. We Unpacked.